build it up into a storyline where it's Edge versus Randy at WrestleMania. I was leaning more towards Team Rated RKO because they're both sort of older now, and I think it would definitely be easier for them to wrestle as a tag team. But, I mean, Randy against Edge at Mania, it'll be sort of a classic.
Yeah, it's going to be a classic. Probably the two biggest heels of the early of the 2000s to 2010 generation. They're the biggest heels. Yeah. Really was that early 2000s to 2010s generation of guys. The biggest ones were Edge and Randy Orton. So
yeah, and it's sort of like everyone who's around our age who grew up watching wrestling and then they stopped, but then we kept watching it. That's sort of who their biggest heels were for them. Is always just you saw Randy and Edge. I actually remember looking at a picture on Twitter of somebody. I don't know who it was. It was someone random who tweeted it, but they tweeted out a picture of Randy and Edge. This was before the Rumble, and they said if you grew up watching WWE, you really hated these guys. And it was Randy Orton and Edge, which is cool.
Which is very true.
Yeah, which was pretty weird.
I mean, we've gotten some intense storylines between Cena and Orton and Cena and Edge.
Yeah.
And I know if you were our age growing up, Cena was your guy.
Yeah.
Like John Cena was the man.
He was the man.
So basically, we've got Edge versus Orton for Mania, which, I don't know. I'm not like... I think it's a safe bet.
Yeah.
First of all, let me say this. Edge said it too. He's in the best shape of his life. Oh, absolutely true, dude.
It was ridiculous.
He's like shredded.
I remember
he's got like a six-pack.
Yeah, dude, he came out, and when he came out at the Rumble, I just remember thinking, wow, dude, he's in really good shape.
Yeah, like he looks great. Besides like the gray beard, he doesn't look much older. He's in super good shape, and him and Orton are familiar with each other. Which is a safe bet when you have someone like Edge risking stuff like that, wrestling with his former neck injuries and things like that. So Orton hit him with the RKO, hit him with Edge's famous move with him and Christian, the concerto, chair underneath the head, and then hit him with a chair on top.
Yeah, he was going to go for the head between the folding chair and then stomp on it, but he decided not to do that.
So, which leads us to, we'll end the pod with this, talking a little bit about... Drew McIntyre. If I wasn't sold on Drew McIntyre winning the Rumble, his promo last night did it for me. Like, I am fucking behind Drew McIntyre right now, bro.
Yeah.
I love him as a babyface, bro.
Yeah.
He's so good. He's a really good heel, too, but dude, he was like so fucking badass last night, dude, man. Like no other way to describe it, bro.
He's just a badass guy.
Like he's fucking huge and he's Scottish. His nickname is the Scottish Psychopath, which is hilarious.
He just runs and kicks you in the face.
Yeah, like extremely hard.
Yeah.
And it was so awesome last night where he said he just comes out. And he's getting the chance, man. Like we said, he's never gotten a title shot.
Yeah.
And you figured when he came back, he was going to get it soon, and it wasn't going to take this long. They did the right thing by giving him this Rumble win. Aleister Black was probably like he was like, as someone would say, Aleister Black versus The Fiend was, as Dan would say, the sexy matchup.
Yeah.
Aleister Black would have been a nice fan favorite to win, but so was McIntyre though.
Yeah, and like you were saying that they could easily just have Aleister.
They could easily do
against
that.
The Fiend because they're The Fiend and D-Bry's
that's probably done.
It's pretty much done, and so Aleister's whole thing is like who's gonna knock on my door,
who's gonna challenge me,
basically. And so I think The Fiend's just gonna be like, let him in.
Yeah,
and then is Aleister.
He's gonna knock, and you're just gonna let me.
Yeah.
Or something
dude,
like that.
If they don't do that, dude, I'm like thinking of it now and I'm getting really excited. Yeah.
Let me in. Yeah. And then it's just like, and then he appears in there. That would be sick.
Yeah.
So makes me really want to tune into SmackDown this Friday.
Yeah.
Figure out what's going to happen with that. Because this is all the build up to Mania now. I believe we have a pay-per-view in between.
Yeah. We're on the road to WrestleMania.
Do we have Elimination Chamber in between?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So in between that and Mania, we got Elimination Chamber.
Which is in Philadelphia.
Yeah, it is in Philly.
Might end up going.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's going to be sick. So basically, we had this McIntyre promo, comes out, the entire crowd chanting "You deserve it," which is absolutely true. And it was awesome, and I loved it. McIntyre says a lot of guys like to come out here and think their decision over and draw this out. He says, I'm not like those guys. I'm challenging. He said, I challenge Brock Lesnar for the WWE title, and I'm going to beat him at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And we were just like, to me, I was just like, fuck yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Let's go.
And that's sort of
let's go.
That's sort of
we have a new opponent for Lesnar too, which is awesome. And it's different. It's a different matchup.
Yeah, it's not like it's Roman.
It's not like it's Seth. Roman or Seth, fucking Goldberg, the Undertaker.
Oh my God.
I feel like Lesnar's been wrestling the same 4 or 5 people with the exception of a few.
Yeah. And sort of when he's cutting that promo, it's sort of like an old school promo where if you look up how like a lot of the good heels used to cut promos back then, where they would just say, I'm going to beat this guy because I'm better than him, and here's why. They didn't scream. They weren't prolonging anything. They said, I'm better than him. I'm going to beat him.
He said, he was like, and I will beat Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, and that's how you cut a good promo. You don't always have to sit there and scream and get everyone fired up. You just got to go in and lay down the facts.
Yeah, so McIntyre's got us behind him. I know that for sure.
Yeah, and also, if you don't know, Drew McIntyre's story is he was with WWE for a pretty long time, and then he was just getting underused, so then he decided to hit the indie circuit, and then he got ripped, and then he became a really good wrestler all over the world, and then he came back to WWE to finish up his business.
Yeah, absolutely. So McIntyre's got us behind him. We're gonna cut it off there because we're getting close to that time. So with that being said, I'm Dylan.
I'm Mark.
And if you want to talk, then let's talk balls. We'll see you guys next week.